All right, everybody, welcome back. Good afternoon. And I made a big mistake in my previous video. And by big mistake, I mean a pretty minor mistake that doesn't really mean anything, but it was a mistake. In that video, I said that the two right tackles I looked at, Membo and Williams, were the only two right tackle prospects I thought would go in the top 100 based on projections. I meant to say that at the end of this video that we had looked at all the top 100 guys. There are actually two more top 100 guys on my list, and I meant to say that both the videos today would be top 100 guys. So, my bad. It doesn't really matter at all. It doesn't really mean anything at this point, but I meant to say that today we would be covering the four right tackles that look like they're going to go in the top 100 based on projection. So, we got two guys here. They're projected to be third round picks. Let's go through it. We got Emery Jones Jr. of LSU here, the running mate of Will Campbell, 21 years old as well. This was a guy who was getting a lot of hype to start the season. He was projected to be a first-round pick at one point. Not anymore. This guy may end up slipping past the top 100. He did not have a very good year. He really disappointed. A lot of questions about him right now. Let's. I mean, he looks the part all day. He looks the part. He's got the right height, the right size. Arm length is pretty good, 76th percentile. He's got nice big hands. The big boards, they're a little all over the place. PFF has him in the sixth. CBS has him in the second. The aggregate has him in the late-ish third. I think that's about right. The play over the last 2 years has been a little shaky. Like, he was better in 2023, it seems like, than 2024. That seems to be the general consensus. He allowed way more quarterback pressures in 2024. He was well better graded in 2023. And he also had a bunch of penalties in 2024. So definitely seems to have backslid a little bit in the 2024 season. So the benefits of Emery Jones Jr., the good things about him, he's got the traits of a genuine tackle. He's got the size and arm length. He's got all that stuff. His lateral slides are smooth and clean. I like what I see there. He moves fairly well for a tackle. I think he'll be able to handle that. He works really well in space. I think he'll be a good zone scheme fit. I think that he will be able to handle climbing up to the next level and hitting moving targets. He uses his hands well when engaging with rushers. So he's a skilled hand user. And that's obviously a big part of what we're looking at here. He can ride speed rushers past the quarterback. He's really good at just kind of like guiding them past the pocket. So even though they're making ground on him, they're not actually affecting the play really. So he's gotten pretty good at that kind of stuff. So there is still some positivity here, but with that 2024, we have to bring in a slew of issues that maybe we weren't necessarily looking at before. So let's take a look at some of the cons with Emery Jones. His technique when run blocking is poor. His hand placement and the sinking of the hips and getting low and winning leverage is not great. He tends to overset against speed rushers and leave his inside shoulder open. So you will see a lot of edge rushers just try to get the outside on him and then cut inside, and he's overset so he doesn't get himself in position to stop it. He struggles with the more cerebral elements of the game. If you include him in a lot of like twists and stunts and exotic blitzes, he seems like he's a little bit confused on who he's supposed to pick up. And he gets out of control a little too often. I feel like ends up on the ground. He ends up just kind of getting flattened because he's get caught off guard or caught off balance or however you want to put it. Excuse me. So Emery Jones Jr., pretty pretty good prospect on the upper level stuff where you have like size and athletic ability. But in terms of his actual like nuance as an offensive lineman, there's some stuff that's missing here. And that's the main reason why he's here right now, where he's probably a third round pick. So honestly, I'm not sure they dropped him quite far enough. If he's currently like a mid to late third round pick, I don't even know about that. I'd go early round four. I just couldn't get excited about this guy watching what happened last year. There's so many technique issues. There's so many problems with him making it at the NFL level that I can't even get that excited for him looking the part. Usually when I look at a guy who's got pretty good size and pretty good arm length, I'm like, okay, this is worth working on. I don't know. I was disappointed last year. I was expecting a lot better. And for the most part, to me, it seems like the good things about him are things he was given. And the concerns with him are things that he's needs to work to earn that he just hasn't really worked yet. There are a couple things about his technique that are good. I think he uses his hands well. I think his punch power is pretty good, but there's a lot wanting here, man. Okay, so that is your third top 100 right tackle. Again, like I said, previous video, I misspoke. Meant to say that there would be two more top 100 right tackles in this video. This is the first one. Second one is going to be Ozzy Trapilo. Ozzy Trapilo of Boston College. And he's currently projected to go in the mid to late third as well. Very tall, 6'8" and an eighth, one of the tallest offensive linemen to ever go through the combine. 316 pounds, so he's the right size, but he is kind of lean, right? You've got 316 pounds on 6'8" and an eighth. That's not necessarily what you usually see. Kind of short arms, 33 inches, not critically short, but not what you want to see, and big hands. So the measurements are a little all over the place. Combine testing was mostly a little above average, pretty decent. I'm okay with it because he is such a big guy, but you wouldn't really call him super athletic. You wouldn't really call him super explosive. He's okay. And all the big boards he's on have him in the top 91, I guess. And he's 90th on the aggregate. So that seems to be about where people are putting him, about that third round range of things. The numbers the last couple years have been fairly good. Over the last 2 years combined, 2 sacks allowed, 4 quarterback hits, 20 hurries, 3 total penalties, 0 penalties last year. I mean, hey, that's, you don't see that every day. Graded fairly well, not stellar, but good. So the positives with Trapilo, technically sound in protecting his chest to make up for his length issue. The length issues are a handicap, but he does a good job overcoming that by protecting his chest, keeping his hands not too far apart. He doesn't expose his chest. There's football in his blood. I think his dad was like I think his dad played for the Saints, I want to say. He's got a nice anchor as well. He can anchor down, and he's hard to move with power. He's hard to detach once he's connected. He uses his big hands well. He's got good latch power. And he's a very smart player in terms of how he handles things like twists and stunts. Always interesting to see how that works. Especially because we're in a division with a team like the Rams that love to do the twisting and stunt game. So I like how he handles that. He's probably a nice little swing tackle candidate. He can play on the left side or the right side, I think. I think he's going to be able to go from one side to the other. And while if he's a starter, you're not going to have to think about that. If he ends up being a backup, he'll be able to provide backup reps at both spots, which is nice. That's valuable. I think that is possibly where this ends up. I'm hoping for better. There could be better. But if he washes out as a backup, then at least you know you have a swing tackle backup. I think he can play on the left a little bit. Now, some of the downsides with Ozzy here, punch needs to work. His punch needs some work. I don't think his punch is very effective. He doesn't operate very well in space. I don't know about him as a zone scheme fit. I mean, he's tall, right? And he's big, and he's not super athletic. Like, it is a little bit awkward to have him running around out there. Really hard for him to win leverage and get his run blocks down and create leg drive because he's so tall. So I don't know if the right tackle stuff is even all that great when he can't run block that well. And again, I want to stress the arms are well below average. The arms are 33 inches. That is a problem that other players don't have. And he leaves his inside open when sliding to block speed, so he does overset a little bit, and some pass rushers are able to use that against him. So Trapilo, definitely a little bit of an underwhelming prospect, but I think about right for where he is in the on the big boards. I think that he's meant for a gap-based scheme, and there are too many holes here for me to really be amped for him. Like, I don't like the fact that he's probably too tall to slide inside, and I don't like the fact that his arms are too short to possibly make it a tackle. There's a little bit of a thin line that he has to follow to get in here. I think he has to make it a tackle, and then I think he has to overcome his length because sliding inside is going to be really hard when you're over 6'8". So I'd say 4th round on him. I'm a little bit lower on him than most. I just think that that's a big issue when you're talking about a guy who has those many physical limitations, and you can't do anything about that. You can't get longer arms, you can't grow shorter. There's not much you can do. All right, so those were our final top 100 right guards. So those are your day 2 guards. Let me know what you guys are, excuse me, right tackles, not guards. Let me know what you guys think. Another video coming maybe later today. Possibly we're going to just hold off until tomorrow and finish off right tackle. Let me know what you think. Interesting position this year. Go Hawks. If you didn't catch the initial stream that I did with the Hawks Nest about offensive linemen in this draft, go check out the VOD. And everyone, have a great rest of your day, and go Hawks.